Previamente, con Cena con Corredores.
Cuba, 1958. What was this time like?
It was a time of crisis. 26th of July had two big wings.
And the strategy of the movement from the beginning was to get Fidel and a small number of guys in the mountains and then have this massive revolutionary underground in the cities.
Everything is great.
You know, Batista, things aren't going great. Certainly looking for ways to, improve his public image.
So what better time than to put on a huge sports event to show to everybody outside of Cuba that everything is great?
If you could make it appear that everything is calm and beautiful.
So the 26th of July movement realizes they need to make an impact. So what do they come up with?
Let's kidnap the most famous, successful, and sexiest race car driver in the world. And that would only be Fangio.
The following production was not directed by Michael Bay.
Government forces that fought in bloody battles such as this continue, threatening for a time to make the island republic a gory battlefield for guerrilla warfare.
Our men are too much thirsty with civilian people.
Castro himself has become a figure of legend in the 16 months since he invaded Oriente Province from a small boat.
Libertad o muerte.
Te extraño cada día, hermano. Por favor, sepa que lo intentamos. Intentamos todas las otras formas de llamar su atención. Solo espero que no pienses miedo de mí.
Are you a fan of Michael Bay?
Sure.
Do you have a favorite Michael Bay movie?
Armageddon, probably.
What's your favorite Michael Bay movie?
Bad Boys.
Do you have a favorite Michael Bay film?
Transformers 2.
My God! Christ. We should have done this differently. Lally's getting too much screen time. Michael Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lens flare, baby.
Lens flare, nice. Hold on to that.
February 1958. Tell us what happens.
1958 para el movimiento 26 de julio significó que había que hacer algo con Fangio. Batista decidió retomar la carrera que había tenido éxito en 1957. En esta ocasión, en 1958, vinieron incluso más corredores que el año anterior.
So this is the car from 1958's Cuban Grand Prix.
Yes, it is. A much power car than the year before.
So the story goes, they get to Cuba for 58, they go out and they practice, the car's not great.
Yes, Fangio dropped during the qualification. He made the best time, but when he came back to the pit, he said to his mechanic, there is something wrong with the rear suspension. The car is not stable they see that there was a difference between the lines of the chassis.
One side was shorter than the other?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's why they discovered after that Mustang Gregory, who was using this same car, have a crash, and the car were repaired, but not so well repaired. But he made the...
He was still P1.
Yes.
He was still P1 and complaining about the car.
Exactly.
He's still a race car driver.
Yes.
So Ignacio, this is the Malecón.
It is.
And this is where the racetrack was.
Yes. The Malecón is a wonderful place for every Cuban and, of course, the people who live in Havana. It was the place for the race. It has a lot of space for creating the pits, for gathering the people. It was one of the most prominent places in Havana, and I think that's why it was selected.
I've raced all over the world. I've done a lot of street races. Back in the States, we have a couple of tracks that are right next to the water. We have St. Petersburg Grand Prix, we have the Long Beach Grand Prix. So the outward look of this is beautiful. You have the skyscrapers, you got this really long straightaway. It seems like a perfect place for a racetrack.
When you see the pictures, it's a great show, you know?
Yeah.
The people gathering, the cars racing, the modern architecture of the city, and the magnificent weather that we have mostly in February, that it's the perfect place to do it.
So we're pulling out onto the Malecón now, and this is where the start-finish line would be?
Yes, yes, and we will drive onto Marina Street now. That was the first part of the race.
So we're going down towards the marina.
Yes.
And then there would be a right-hand turn, and then a couple of lefts that bring it back onto the Malecón again.
That tower.
Oh, yeah.
El Torreón de San Lázaro.
That's beautiful. Did they have to stop for traffic during the race?
Well, this is Maceo's Square, the Parque Maceo.
And who was that?
He was one of the main generals of the army against Spain. He was superhuman guy.
So they would turn left here to get back onto the Malecón.
Yes, and left here and left again and
straight down.
Yes, and straight down the street until President's Avenue.
This is a massive straightaway, even by today's standards. Back then, you know, I'm guessing there wasn't a lot of safety on the right side here, so if it goes wrong, you could end up in the drink. I'm guessing the road surface is probably better now than it was back then.
Oh,
no.
You never know.
Maybe not. And then this is the hairpin that turned back around?
Mm-hmm. This is Calzada, look, it's a narrow street.
Very narrow. I mean, we were just going like so fast down that one straightaway, but now you've got this narrow city streets and houses.
You know, the drivers worried because a sabotage could be produced in the moment. The country wasn't safe at all because the rebels were making a lot of sabotages, and they put bombs everywhere. The country was really unstable.
So this is Hotel Lincoln.
Yes, this is the Hotel Lincoln. This is where Fangio was kidnapped. The place is under total reconstruction today. It's been closed for a while.
What was the Hotel Lincoln?
El Hotel Lincoln en aquel momento era un hotel quizás pequeño, pero fue pionero en muchos avances tecnológicos para la época. Y además, al ser pequeño, los integrantes de las distintas escuderías que venían a la competencia, pues podían estar más unidos. Y por la misma forma de la calle que atraviese el Hotel Lincoln por delante era más estrecha. El acceso era más pequeño. Y entonces, incluso lo que refieren las personas que estuvieron en el secuestro es que Faustino Pérez les dijo, o lo hacen ustedes o lo hago yo.
Who's in the hotel during this?
Según cuentan ellos, ¿quiénes estaban? Oscar Lucero y su esposa, pero entran Manuel Uciel y Manuel Núñez. Es decir, 4 personas que 2 participan directamente en el secuestro. Es decir, 2 indican quién es, despistan porque son una pareja que están en el bar.
Buenas tardes.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Buenas tardes.
Me llamo Ryan. So we're going to meet Manuel Núñez. What was his role in everything?
Mira, nosotros estamos hoy aquí porque increíblemente después de tantos años que pasó el secuestro de Fangio.
Manuel Núñez, de alguna manera, es alguien muy importante para mí como persona. Es decir, lo conocí gracias a la peña amigo de Fangio.
Yo bien porque cumplí una orden de aquel momento y yo la cumplí correctamente como había que cumplir.
Es un hombre, aunque ya tiene 94 años, jaranero, es decir, bromista y una gente muy valiente. No solamente participó en la operación Fangio, participó en otras operaciones también en el movimiento 26 de julio.
Ese casi tenías 30 años. ¿Por qué participaste en eso?
Bueno, me escogieron a mí porque yo pertenecía al movimiento 26 de julio y me escogieron a mí para eso.
Pero te escogieron para qué parte del secuestro. Es decir, eso estuvo por etapas. Tú estabas en el Hotel Lincoln con Oscar Lucero, que fue el que te dijo a ti y a Manuel Uciel.
Sí.
Díselo, ¿dónde es que tú estabas?
En el Hotel Lincoln.
¿Y qué hiciste allí?
Bueno, lo que tenía que hacer, lo que me ordenaron que hiciera.
Would you be surprised to find out that Michael Bay had nothing to do with us making this recreation of Fangio being kidnapped?
No.
So, this is probably a good point of exposition, where I explain to you, my manager, that yesterday I pulled a prank on you in which you were fake arrested by the police.
I was fake arrested yesterday by the police. That really did happen.
So, it's probably only fair to expect that you would pull some sort of prank on me.
So this is unbelievable. I didn't think we were able to get to come in here. This is the lobby.
You are in the lobby, yes.
This is where it happened.
Yes, it's really exciting even for me, you know.
So this is an honor for me, but like you're from here, this is a part of your country's history. It's obviously something that is quite talked about, and we're in the same room where it happened.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. So we're in the lobby. Take me back to February of 1958. What happened?
Well, the racers came in a little group, came down the elevator to the lobby, and Oscar Lucero and his wife were down
At the bar?
At the bar.
Okay.
And Manuel Azúa and Manuel Núñez, one of them was carrying a 45 Colt, and the other one had nothing. They didn't know how Fangio looks like, so Oscar Lucero had to make a signal at them.
Did they go, it's that guy? There you go with that?
Really out loud. Hey, you, come on.
Him. He's in the lobby. 2 men approach. What happens?
They ask, who of you are Fangio? I'm Fangio. You're Fangio, yes. Then you had to come with me. Why? I'm from the movement, 26.
He took out the gun, put it and said, Juan, you will have to come with us.
if someone of the guys make a movement, the consequence will be. That's the moment that Fangio said, "This is a joke."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was some kind of a previous joke.
The night before.
Yes.
Right.
You know, you have to come with us, and the people said he like smiled or something, but then realized it was serious.
Yeah.
So in my book, I claimed that once I saw the gunman shaking, I stayed calm to keep everyone safe. But you know what?
Not today! When Fangio came into the lobby, everyone had a gun, right?
Guns here, guns there. Everyone's got a
No.
gun.
No. No. Only one, man.
Only one?
Yeah.
So, like, if director Michael Bay had done this, everyone would have a gun, and you'd have a gun, and you'd have a gun. That's not how it happened.
No.
Really?
It's not the film. Manuel Núñez dice, que no se mueva nadie, que no se mueva nadie, que esto está rodeado. Y era mentira. Pero bueno, era para atemorizar de que nadie fuera a hacer nada y poderse llevar a Fangio caminando prácticamente más de 60 metros.
And then they took him out, walking, and walked, I think, almost 100 meters.
Yeah, quite a bit. Can you ask him if he pretended to have a gun even though he definitely did not?
Manuel, ¿es verdad que usted, en medio de aquel tropelaje, cuando la gente se pusieron nerviosos, usted fingió que tenía en la cintura algo y no tenía nada? Dijo, usted se quieto todo el mundo que están rodeados.
De acuerdo.
¿Cómo le dijiste?
Así mismo.
No, pero dímelo a mí ahora.
No,
Como tú lo dices así con esa...
Bueno, yo en aquel momento, yo me acuerdo que lo dije eso porque me lo exigía el momento histórico aquel. No se mueva nadie aquí. Todo el mundo tranquilo. Y
Estamos rodeados.
estamos rodeados. Sí. Dime tú, por tantos años que han pasado y...
So try to think about it.
Yeah.
Now we are in the middle of the city. We have buildings everywhere.
It's nighttime, there's people everywhere.
Yes. Think about somebody after the dinner, after watching TV or something, they could be on the the balconies.
Right.
And
Here you are with a 5-time
Yes.
Formula One world champion.
Yes, and everyone knew him. Everyone was waiting for it.
And the car wasn't parked right here for an easy access.
Yes, it was. I would like to know why they parked
So
the car.
far away.
Yes,
Yeah.
so far away. It was.
So we're coming out, there's a gun in my hip. I've got a nervous young man holding it.
A young guy holding the gun at 45, in this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we come around, the car
Yes,
is
the car was
roughly about halfway down this block.
Yes.
So we still got to get past all these, there's people here now. And think about the highlight.
Think about the nights of
Yeah.
Havana. That's what I always think when I think about the Fangio's thing.
Senor Fangio, we're very sorry for the trouble we're causing you. Please understand we have no intention of...
Yeah. Just put that away.
We hear a lot about Castro, but this was very specifically the 26th of July movement that was behind this. Do you think Fangio had even heard of this movement prior to showing up?
I think yes. He usually read the newspaper.
Okay.
So this was a movement that we're getting more known worldwide.
You guys know I'm bald, right? People are going to recognize me. Do you have a hat or anything?
Rumor has it that when he got in the car so that they couldn't find him, they made him wear a disguise. Did you hear about this?
They say the head of Fangio was so big, so the head doesn't fit. So, okay.
Let's say you're on mid-tier streaming network budget. Do you think it would be acceptable to use his mask as just one of those cheap plastic noses and mustache that you could buy on Amazon?
Wow. What are some other kinds of hats you could wear as a disguise?
A Panama one.
Ooh, Panama hat.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. What about like a trucker hat?
Kangol? Well, knockoff.
We don't have that kind of gang. We don't got Kangol money.
Miguel Fangio, world champion racing driver, is kidnapped by Cuban rebels in a daring move to discredit the Batista regime by disrupting Havana's Sports Fiesta and Grand Prix race. Then, with world attention focused on Havana, disaster turns the Fiesta into a grim fiasco.
So they pull off the initial heist, so to speak. Juan Fangio is kidnapped. He's in cars. It's said that Castro and the 26th of July movement immediately went to work notifying the press.
World champion Juan Fangio was tipped as the winner, they said, but that was before he was kidnapped from his Havana hotel.
They would have had no reason to hide it, right? They're trying to make a point. They're not going to treat him poorly. He's not an enemy.
Cuba was the most advanced of all countries except for the United States in terms of both television stations and radio stations. There were 11 national television stations, and they had media like Cuba, the CNN of its time.
Even in moments in the 50s when the press is being censored, things are still finding ways to get covered. They were incredibly savvy with the press, and they were incredibly savvy with the international press, right? Because Batista can control his domestic press to a certain degree, but there's international journalists who are coming in.
So the larger radio stations, the most important commercial radio stations, start to have to report on what's happening with Fangio because it gets out first.
It's a big deal, yeah.
To the foreign press, and then it gets to Cuba, and then it gets to all of the, and Batista's censors are powerless because if all of your journalists are defying you.
Right.
And if it's in the international press already,
exactly.
It's already out.
Yeah.
So.
I want you to find them and kill them.
Are you a fan of Michael Bay?
Absolutely.
You know what Bayham is? It's like what he's known for, because there's always like...
Oh yeah, it's all the stuff exploding and all of this.
What would you say your favorite Michael Bay Bayham thing is?
We'll do the car chases, of course.
So just like tons of cars and they're like overdone?
This is a Guido 1. I have eyes on target. Eyes on target. Vehicle heading northbound on Guadalupe.
No one makes a move until I say. Ready? Go.
All right, get ready, boys. We got company.
I've got lock. Permission to take the shot.
Do not take the shot.
Permission to take the shot.
Do not take the shot.
Permission to take the shot.
Do not take the shot.
I'm taking the
I
shot.
hear you. God damn it.
In any Michael Bay movie, there's the scene where somebody's leaning out the window with a gun saying, "Oh, you want to play?
Yeah.
Let's play."
Yeah.
Would that have happened?
No.
Okay.
You're trying to not be detected, because if you get detected by Batista's
But there's a helicopter
people,
chasing them.
There's not a helicopter chasing
Okay.
them.
Fangio's in the back seat. Do you think Fangio was like making smart comments to him? Like, you call that driving? My grandmother could drive better than that. Anything like that?
Se lo debe haber dicho.
Probably haven't.
Okay. Yeah.
The story is just so fake. It's just not real.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no helicopter.
Okay.
whoever gets honored in the Cuban island narrative is going to be the one who stayed in Cuba. And whoever is honored outside of Cuba is the one who left Cuba. But when you talk to somebody who like orchestrated the whole thing, like Manolo Ray, you have to hear what the man is saying, which is that you choose who is going to be your point man with the gun based on how the subject is going to respond. And so strategically, you have the guy who's most presentable. Right, and you try not to make an incident out of it. And the way he described it was that there was no incident whatsoever, like nobody hardly noticed, you know?
Podemos tocar parte como, por ejemplo, que la importancia de esto fue que nadie salió herido, ni siquiera Fangio. Eso hay que hacer hincapié en eso.
Eso lo dijo él a nosotros y a mí personalmente, que podía pasar cualquier cosa, pero que Fangio no podía peligrar la vida de Fangio. O sea que a Fangio había que cuidarlo por encima de todo. Y eso fue lo que hicimos.
So, the kidnapping. We feel as though there's only one person that could direct the kidnapping story. We're thinking Michael Bay.
Yeah, something about the specificity of the context, I think, and the accuracy might be lost, but might be.
Oh, you've seen his work. Got it.
Okay, so are you saying that when we have the helicopters in the car chase, that wouldn't be accurate?
There wasn't a car chase as far as I know.
So when you say there wasn't a car chase, we have to remove the car chase scene now.
Yeah, I think if you want historical accuracy, unless there's a car chase in this history that I'm not familiar with.
If it's Michael Bay, we know there's a scene where everyone's got a gun drawn on everybody. Is that what happened in the Lincoln Hotel?
No.
So, traditional Michael Bay film, we have to do a big spinning, rotation, moving camera thing. Where would that take place?
I'm imagining like a circle of Batista's police in some meeting where you know what has hit the fan and someone's being held to account and the camera's just panning, looking at everyone's face, not knowing, you know, what to figure out and how to do it.
They just think they are. Never know wanna be gangster trying to play hard.
Do you think it would be impressive if, with no money, somebody didn't just walk around in a circle, but actually really made an effort with a longer lens to do sort of a rising shot and kind of go above and beyond to really make sure it looks like Michael Bay?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that seem really specific to you?
Because this shot took so much work, do you think it'd be weird if they just showed it again?
Fangio?
No, us.
Michael Bay.
I mean, sorry, Michael Bay.
Smoke up, dash in the blimp. Free up the guys and dip out the ends. Jump in the ride and burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't cut to the boy that I'm in. Never to the block with the upper events. Scan get close to you putting on them with the tips on 10. Back in the back that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Ding dong, they just think they are. Never know wanna be gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, they just think they are. Never know wanna be gangster trying to play hard. Ding dong, 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 ding dong.
So you were friends with Sterling Moss. He was there in Cuba.
And he was not unhappy that Fangio was kidnapped because he was the main opposition.
But he was literally in the hotel when the gun got pulled.
He was. He was there on his honeymoon. The organizers of the Cuban race gave him a bodyguard to stand outside his hotel room door on his
after the kidnapping.
And everybody, so often he would knock on the door in the middle of the night. Moss, you're okay?
Yeah.
So poor Sterling Moss is there, married, recently married.
Yeah.
And every hour or so, his door's getting knocked on to make sure he's okay.
Yep.
We're on a road trip!
Do you know Vince Gilligan?
Yeah.
Do you think he could have directed some of the conversations?
That's the most convincing suggestion you've made so far.
Oh.